Hello, everyone. This is Jeffrey Kerr. I'm back here with Alex Meyer discussing award nomination predictions. We've already covered the Golden Globes a few days ago. Now we're off to the SAG Awards. Yeah, and we're starting with the film categories, which are only 5 that we're allowed to predict nominations for on Gold Derby. So we're not predicting nominations for the stunt ensemble, at least not on Gold Derby. But in any case, we'll be covering all 5 categories we are allowed to predict. And and of course, I should say that now. In fact, Alex, why don't you tell the people watching how we're planning to do this, like we talked about after we discussed Golden Globe nominations yesterday?
Well, we're going to list our predictions based on our rankings, and then we'll compare that to Gold Derby's official predicted rankings.
Okay, and so now, so of course, what better way to start things off than with the big one of all, and that's best film ensemble. Now, of course, we should point out that last year we were, of course, so enamored. Okay, what Best Picture nominee was up for ensemble at SAG? Because the 2 years before that, we were kind of burned by the statistic as the predicted Best Picture frontrunner was not up at SAG. But last year, no, that stat was broken with The Shape of Water, where it was not up for a film ensemble. Yet that didn't stop it from winning Best Picture. But I guess what helped to overcome it were, I guess, one of 2 things. One, the Academy at least showed, the actors branch of the Academy at least showed respect for it with 3 individual nominations. And also, I guess, given the ensemble nature of it, I probably wouldn't be surprised it actually came close to a SAG ensemble nomination.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and plus there was the presumed frontrunner 3 billboards controversy of whether or not it was too lenient with like the treatment of Sam Rockwell's character for his horrific racist actions throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, in any case, with that SAG stat, well, I'm. I mean, I guess I expect that to be a stat that only gets broken every once in a while, like how hard it is for a film to win Best Picture without a directing nomination, without a screenplay nomination, without an editing nomination, all that. So, I mean, I wouldn't say you can throw out SAG entirely yet. I mean, I guess we shall see this year. But in any case, so as for I'm sorry.
Well, this is still the one group to pay a lot of attention to because there's a lot of voter overlap between here and the Oscars.
Yes, I mean, even though, of course, the film that wins Best Film Ensemble isn't a strong indicator as to what will win Best Picture, because they only get predict Best Picture rights half the time. But in any
Right.
case,
But the acting category is often
yes.
pretty much in sync with the Oscars, with maybe only a slight number of differences.
Well, yes, though it is rare for all 4 acting winners at SAG to go on to repeat at the Oscars, which happened last year, as well as every other major precursor, as well as a few other years. But yeah, there have been some years where there have been one major difference. Like a few years ago, Idris Elba won Best Supporting Actor for Beasts of No Nation despite being snubbed by the Academy. And I even remember him saying in his acceptance speech, it was either for that or Luther. I know he won one of those 2. He said, "This is diverse TV."
Yeah, well, he won both that year.
Well, yes, that's
This Oscar snub for Beasts of No Nation was probably what propelled him to the win there.
Yeah, yeah, yes, and of course, 2 years ago, Denzel Washington won Best Actor for Fences, but of course, that was probably based more on the fact that he had never won there before. So, I mean, still, it is important, but still, SAG is definitely something worth paying attention to and predicting the acting categories, at least.
Mm-hmm. Since
Yes.
these are all acting awards, pretty much. There's no directing, writing, cinematography, editing, since these are given out by the Screen Actors Guild.
Well, yeah, the directors, writers, and producers have their own guilds. So, in any case, now on to what are my predicted 5 nominees for Best Film Ensemble. They are The Favorite, A Star is Born, Crazy Rich Asians, Black Klansman, and Widows.
All right. I have the same top 3, but then I have Vice in 4th place, and then Widows in fifth.
Okay, so you and I have four of the same five. Yeah, and well, yeah, Vice I could see getting in there, but the reason I don't have it in my lineup is because we've seen in the past how hard it is for late December releases for films that just start screening to really make a strong impact at SEG, like The Post last year. You know, you think on paper that's a strong SEG contender, like it has Tom Hanks, Meryl Streep, Bob Odenkirk, Sarah Paulson, all these Matthew Reese, all these, especially a bunch of TV stars, of course, and a lot of TV people are in the SAG, and but yet apparently screened too late to really make it anywhere.
Mm. Well, I mean, I think it has a stronger chance here because we've known about it for some time. Like it filmed quite a while ago, and there's been like the leaked set pictures and everything. And plus, they started screening several weeks ago in early November, so people
Yes.
have had the chance to see it. Plus, The Big Short, Adam McKay's other film based on true events, did well here 3 years ago.
Well,
So,
yes.
so that I think helps it here, and given the political climate we're in, I think this is a film that a lot of people are going to have their eye on.
Hmm. Well, yes, and I will say I do at least have Vice getting two individual acting nominations, which we'll get to momentarily. And yeah, Vice again, I could totally see Vice getting in, and I mean, I could also see if Beale Street Could Talk getting in as well.
Hmm. Although I guess I mean I'm basing my picks on more on films that have like uh, a very ensemblistic nature, I guess, because too often we see films that are only focused on like two people, for instance, usually get snubbed here, like La La Land,
Well,
and
yes, they'll take no. I'm
I
sorry.
could possibly see that maybe potentially hurting A Star Is Born, since the majority of the film is focused on Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. But I mean, the supporting players, they're not just like brief cameos like J.K. Simmons and Rosemarie DeWitt and La La Land. Like
Yeah, Orphan Whitrock or Tom Everett Scott.
Sam Elliott and Andrew Dice Clay and Anthony Ramos, they all have their significant screen time, even if it's still kind of limited. They're not necessarily cameos.
Well, yes. In fact, I was about to say that we've seen sometimes seeing small ensembles like Beasts of No Nation and Boyhood get in here. We've seen two-handers like The Theory of Everything get in here.
Well, The Theory of Everything had more than two people listed on its cast list.
Well, yes, but still, the majority of the film was mainly focused on Eddie Redmayne, Felicity Jones.
True, but I think there was still significantly more time given to some of the supporting characters,
Mm,
unlike in, say, La La Land, where, again, those other performances were mostly just cameos,
hmm
with maybe John Legend being the one exception.
Oh yeah, that's true. And
I mean, Black Klansman, you were talking about earlier, I, if there was a sixth slot, that'd be in there, but like, and I'm and I know there's a big debate of whether or not Widows can still make it considering its underperformance at the box office. But
as well as other places, like some critics' awards, the Golden Globes.
sometimes some films take a while to get recognition. Like we like the Coen Brothers remake of True Grit was completely shut out at the Golden Globes with zero nominations, but then it got nominated for 10 Oscars and it didn't win any, but it still managed to get in despite missing out in the early stages.
Did it miss out at SAG as well?
No, I know it got at least nominations, I believe, for Jeff Bridges and Haley Steinfeld, and maybe Ensemble as well, but I don't remember. It didn't win anything there because it kind of went home empty-handed throughout
Well,
most of the awards season.
Well,
But
yes, and speaking of the Coen brothers, could you see their latest film, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, getting in? I mean, it's probably a long shot, but it's an ensemble piece and it's on Netflix, and we've seen SAG be more embracive of Netflix than the Academy has so far.
mm, possibly, although given that it's more of an anthology film that was originally supposed to be a TV miniseries, that
Yeah,
might possibly hurt it in some ways. And I know that one of its actors is James Franco, and could that
right.
turn off some people?
Hmm. Well,
So
yeah, especially if they still remember his allegations from months ago.
right.
And
I'm assuming he filmed his role in there prior to the allegations coming out, but yeah, I'm I'm guessing
yes,
they're I'm guessing the Coens didn't have time to cut him out and recast the role like with Ridley Scott
well,
for Kevin
well,
Spacey and All the Money in the World.
well, true. Although, I mean, although Franco's allegations hasn't really caught on like Spacey's has, so I guess maybe it wasn't as big of a deal.
Well, they do say that may have been a factor in him getting snubbed at the Oscars for The Disaster Artist.
Yes, that's true. So, and by the way, True Grit did not get in for ensemble at SAG several years ago. So there you go.
Yeah. All right.
So,
Now we should move on to
oh wait. Oh wait. Before we move on, could you see other films like Green Book or Roma getting in, or what about Black Panther? Could that get in?
Green Book. I don't possibly, but I'm hesitant just because it's again kind of like La La Land, where we do have some supporting players like Linda Cardellini, but their screen time is pretty limited. It's pretty much just the Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali show.
Yeah, that's right.
Roma, that'll be interesting. How many, depending on how many voters got screeners of it, or were able to see it in a theater because it doesn't come on Netflix till this Friday.
Well, yes, or saw it at a festival.
Yeah, well, and yeah, so I mean, oh, and Black Panther possibly, but uh, could its like early February release date hurt it? I mean, it certainly has the possibility to get in here, but we've never seen a superhero film get like a nomination here at SAG for a category like this. So
Well,
that
yeah, not even The Dark Knight could accomplish that.
yeah. So I mean, it's possible. I'd say Black Panther would probably be in the sixth, in the top 10 range if we could predict 10 nominees. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't necessarily think it'll get like any individual acting nominations, although maybe
Well,
someone like Michael B. Jordan might stand somewhat of a chance. And I may have a prediction for him at the Critics' Choice Awards, given that they have 6 slots instead of 5. So maybe it'll do better there.
well, we shall see.
Because this
But
could,
but I do have Crazy Rich Asians at least fitting that mold of getting that SAG ensemble nomination, but no individual acting nominations.
right. Well, I mean, there could be a potential slot in supporting actress for Michelle Yeoh,
That's true.
but we'll have to see because
Okay, so I guess now to Gold Derby's official rankings, the predicted five they have combined are The Favorite, A Star Is Born, Vice, Crazy Rich Asians, and Widows. So I guess hopefully Widows at least makes it in here, especially if you look at the ensemble of that film. Like it's the definition of a SAG ensemble nominee.
hmm
So
uh,
so now on to a best film, best lead actor, best film actor. So I guess in fact this time I'll let you read off your predicted lineup first.
all right. So I have Bradley Cooper, A Star Is Born, Viggo Mortensen, Green Book, Christian Bale, Vice, Ethan Hawke, First Reformed, and Rami Malek, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay, I have those same five getting, and although the top three, well, I have them ranked differently. I actually have Christian Bale in first place right now for Vice, followed by Bradley Cooper for A Star Is Born, and then Viggo Mortensen for Green Book.
And then are your bottom two the same?
Oh yes.
Okay. Uh, well, I just think Bradley Cooper is probably going to be unbeatable this award season, just because like if they feel inclined to give Alfonso Cuarón all the best director prizes at every ceremony, then they'll probably give Bradley Cooper Best Actor, especially since A Star Is Born and Roma are considered neck and neck for Best Picture right now, with the race still being too close to call.
Well, 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 I guess unless, of course, Stars Born ends up pulling a surprise for Best Adapted Screenplay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I do think, I think Christian Bale has a chance, but there could be potential back if voters feel that the film portrays Dick Cheney in too positive of a light, maybe that could cost him a win.
Well,
Given that most of Hollywood is very liberal, and obviously Dick Cheney is not.
well, well, we shall see. In fact, this should be interesting. Like, I could, if Bradley Cooper wins Stars Born, I could still just see Christian Bale winning the BAFTA, especially given that he is a Brit. So it should be interesting. It should hopefully make for an interesting Best Actor race this season.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I guess, in fact, now it's, I guess, your turn to read off the predicted lineup by Gold Derby.
Oh wait, I don't have that up right now. I'd have to open up a.
Oh well, you want me to do it instead?
Sure.
Okay, the predicted lineup is Bradley Cooper, Viggo Mortensen, Christian Bale, Rami Malek, and Ryan Gosling for First Man. So, I mean, I'd love for Ryan Gosling to get recognized someplace this award season. I don't know if he will, but I'll be thrilled if it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
okay, so now for Best Film Actress. Okay, my predicted lineup are Glenn Close, The Wife, Olivia Colman, The Favorite, Lady Gaga, A Star is Born, Melissa McCarthy, Can You Ever Forgive Me, and Viola Davis, Widows.
Well, I have the same five ladies, but the top three are in a very different lineup.
Okay.
I have Lady Gaga in first place, Olivia Colman in second, and then Glenn Close in third, and then I have the same bottom two.
Okay. Well, 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 it should be interesting because I can because well, okay, because with Lady Gaga, it should be interesting to see how SAG responds to her because, well, I mean, she's obviously, well, not as well. I mean, even though she's obviously earned a lot of acclaim for her debut leading role in a film for A Star Is Born, well, I mean, she's not as well regarded as in. I mean, she's well, I guess I could see her being vulnerable for a win at SAG. But I mean, then again, I believe there are some members. Well, I believe SAG-AFTRA has some ties with some record industry. I believe.
Well, I think a lot of people can be members of SAG and not just necessarily just actors and actresses. Like I think if like I think I've read somewhere if like film critics have like either a TV show or usually do their reviews on some sort of visual platform, they can become members of SAG, especially if they're like reporters for a certain TV station or whatever.
Hmm. Well, yes. Though I mean, then again, in fact, let me see. I mean, and again, I guess kind of like what we were just talking about with Best Actor. You know, this could also be a competitive race for Best Actress. Like I could see Lady Gaga winning the Globe for Drama Actress and Olivia Colman winning the Globe for Comedy Actress. I could see Glenn Close winning SAG, given that if this is the five nominees we have, Glenn is the most respected actress of all the nominees, and I could see Olivia Colman winning the BAFTA, which again, given the British factor.
Mm-hmm. Well, with Glenn Close, though, the wife really hasn't gotten any traction beyond her performance. So, and
Well, tell that to
typically,
Julianne Moore.
yeah, well, I was about to say once in a while you'll have an exception to the rule, but usually you need like multiple nominations in order to win for your category because it shows that you have pretty much support from across the board. And we've seen already a lot of celebrities throw their praise behind A Star is Born, everyone from like Meryl Streep to Jennifer Lawrence. So I mean, I think there's celebrities are praising A Star is Born. I think that may give Lady Gaga an edge, especially since she's not really using her Lady Gaga-ness
Well, that's
and
true. I mean, it
to
is kind of
energize
well,
people.
yeah, it's kind of transformative given that she's not wearing any of her crazy makeup in the film at all.
No, and I mean and because she's not doing her Lady Gaga persona, that may help voters separate her music act from her acting. So
Good point. And so, and yeah, so I guess okay, now as for Gold Derby's predicted lineup, the other well, mostly on par with my rankings, but yeah, their rankings are Glenn Close, Lady Gaga, Olivia Colman, Melissa McCarthy, and Viola Davis.
hmm.
So I guess now on to a best supporting actor. Okay, your rankings are
Okay. Mahershala Ali, Green Book, Richard E. Grant, Can You Ever Forgive Me, Timothy Chalamet, Beautiful Boy, Sam Elliott, A Star Is Born, and Adam Driver, Black Klansman.
okay. We shall see if Sam Elliott actually makes it in at SAG this time because he obviously was overlooked by the Globes. And I mean, I know some people are currently predicting Elliott to win, but if he gets snubbed here, and well, that's not gonna look good. Granted, I mean, if he is, then maybe he could still win. I mean, Alan Arkin was nominated by the Globes for Little Miss Sunshine, yet that didn't stop him from winning the Oscar. But of course, he also had the benefit of Eddie Murphy's movie Norbit coming in right in the middle of Oscar season while he was campaigning for Dreamgirls.
Hmm. Um, yeah. So I think it's probably going to. Oh wait, what's your lineup?
Okay, my lineup. Oh, well, okay. I have Sam Elliott in first place right now, mainly because if this is the lineup we end up getting, well, he is again the most respected actor of all the nominees. Although I could see a case being made for Richard E. Grant, okay, Sam Elliott, Marshall Ali, Richard E. Grant, Timothy Chalamet, and Adam Driver.
All right. For Sam Elliott, I think if he gets nominated, the nomination will be the win because there are long stretches in the film where he's not there, where he goes and then he disappears. I mean, it's part of the story. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but
Right.
he has good scenes, but there's never really that like one moment that's like that's it. That's like the winning scene right there.
Yeah,
Whereas
that's true.
whereas like both Mahershala Ali and Richard E. Grant, they have their like individual scenes that you could be like, oh yeah, that could definitely be like their clip scene at the award show.
That's true.
So, I mean, I think ultimately the race is going to come down between those two since they seem to be splitting the critics' votes right now.
Well, yeah.
Although they
Though I
both,
could. I'm sorry.
although they both could have some disadvantage. I mean, Mahershala Ali could have the disadvantage of the fact that he already just won 2 years ago from Moonlight, and they may feel he doesn't need to be rewarded again. Plus, there
Especially so soon.
Plus, there are those who feel that Green Book doesn't delve into racial issues deep enough. The Green Book has had some backlash to it.
hmm Yeah.
And then with Richard E. Grant, his performance is very good, although I could see some people feeling his character is a stereotype because his character is this very flamboyant gay man who like drinks a lot and he likes to brag about having unprotected sex with lots of men, but it's not like that the film focuses only on that. Like it's obvious that his character is gay, but it just focuses on him being like a person who helps Melissa McCarthy with her deceptive schemes. It doesn't necessarily use his homosexuality to portray him as a stereotype. At least that's how I feel, but maybe some people may see it differently. But the good thing about Can You Ever Forgive Me is it just acknowledges that both of its main characters are gay without making their homosexuality the primary focus of the film. They're
Mm.
just people who happen to be gay. It's not like it's about their journey of being gay.
Hmm. Okay, so, and I guess on to a Gold Derby's predicted lineup from their combined odds. They are Mahershala Ali, Richard E. Grant, Sam Elliott, Timothy Chalamet, and Adam Driver.
All right, so we're pretty close to the lineup.
Yeah, well, yeah, we at least all have the same five getting in. So I guess
Mhm.
now on to a Best Supporting Actress, and I believe it's now my turn to read off my rankings first, and
Mhm.
they are okay. I have Regina King, If Beale Street Could Talk, Amy Adams, Vice, Rachel Weisz, The Favorite, Emma Stone, The Favorite, and Claire Foy, First Man.
All right, so I have Regina King and Amy Adams in the top two, but then I have Emma Stone in third, Rachel Weisz in fourth, and then this is probably my biggest risk here, which is why I have a super bet on this.
Ooh,
My fifth place slot is actually Natalie Portman for Vox Lux.
ooh, that's a wow. I guess that's possible.
Like if we're gonna truly see what her Oscar chances are, this will be the place to see if she gets in or not.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
Yeah.
considering how transformative she is for the role from what I've seen of the trailers. Because nobody, I don't think anybody would have ever imagined Natalie Portman playing a pop star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And well, yes, and I guess I've Claire Foy in the fifth spot, kind of as well, A, a safe bet, and B, well, SAG has shown a lot of love to her within the last 2 years. I mean, she not only won for the first season of The Crown 2 years ago, but she surprisingly won again last year, which when a lot of us were expected Elizabeth Moss to take it for The Handmaid's Tale.
Hmm. Yeah. But that was TV though, so we have no idea how well they'll respond to her for movies.
Well, still, isn't it like the exact same branch voting in all categories?
Uh, yeah, I mean, I guess, but I mean, but with First Man kind of underperforming everywhere, and especially with the Golden Globes, we don't really know how well they're going to respond to it here.
Well, 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 again, it's possible, and I guess the reason why I have Rachel Weisz ranked higher than Emma Stone. Well, I haven't seen The Favorite yet, so don't ask me about it. But I have Weisz ranked higher mainly because, I mean, both Emma and Rachel have won before, but at least at least with Rachel, it's been longer since she's won for The Constant Gardener, while Emma already just won 2 years ago for La La Land. So I could see them, I guess, not wanting to award her again so soon. So that's just me.
I haven't seen The Favorite yet either. It finally comes to my area this Friday, so I just kind of pick whatever was listed first in the rankings.
Hmm. Okay. So, and as for Gold Derby's combined odds, there are Regina King, If Beale Street Could Talk, Amy Adams, Vice, Emma Stone, The Favorite, Rachel Weisz, The Favorite, and Claire Foy, First Man.
All right, well, we shall see on, I think it's Wednesday they get
Yes.
announced. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that just about does it for the film categories. We'll be back soon to cover the TV categories.
All right.